Hello, my name is Giancarlo, and I will be doing my PowerPoint presentation on James Madison. So, some background about James Madison. He was born in 1751 and died in 1836. He was the fourth President of the United States, as well as a former Secretary of State. He wrote our Constitution, which basically he was the father of our Constitution, and in it he emphasized the importance of republicanism, such as the importance of separation of powers, checks and balances, and the three branches of government. In the first correspondence letters that I found, we can see that there was this threat or problem within the Articles of Confederation, and in it he sent letters to two different prominent American figures, such as Thomas Jefferson. In the first letter, he tells Jefferson the power of entering into treaties and alliances is contradistinguished from that of determining on peace and war, and even separated by intervening power of sending and receiving ambassadors. And in the second letter to Mother, he notes that to furnish new proofs of the necessity of such vigor in the general government as to be able to restore health to any diseased part of the federal body. He knew that the federal government and American society had these cracks as a result of the Articles of Confederation, and that it was time to write a new constitution. In his letters to George Washington and Pendleton, he notes the importance of republicanism, and in it he says it should not recommend, or the letter to Washington states that it should not recommend a revision of federal system when it's considered by many ways as the only constitutional mode by which the defects can be remedied. And in the letter to Pendleton, he states the double object blending and proper stability and energy in the government with essential characters of the Republican form. In these correspondence letters, he basically notes the importance of how they needed a constitution in order to stabilize the United States at the time. In it, the republicanism ideas from the Enlightenment period was grabbed and basically written in a way to build our current republic to this day. And in the letters, you can really see the powerful emotion behind them as a way to really tell readers what it was like, what the stress was going on, and the problems arising within the Confederation period. There were critics of the Constitution, of course, such as the Anti Federalists, such as Thomas Jefferson, and in it he writes a letter to James Madison saying, let me add that a Bill of Rights is what the people are entitled to against every government on earth, general or particular, and what no just government should refuse or rest on interference. In another letter to Madison by Tuberville, he notes, why was not a Bill of Rights affixed to this Constitution by which the liberties of individual might have been secured against the abuse of federal power? Basically, people were scared that the individual rights of citizens will one day be taken away by the government. And in order to prevent that, they pushed for this idea of the Bill of Rights to James Madison and anyone who wanted to vote for the ratification of the Constitution. In these correspondence letters, we can really see the anger, bitterness, and negativity towards Madison and the pushers for the Constitution. There were people that would not vote for the ratification unless there was a Bill of Rights included. Overall, James Madison, who is the father of our Constitution, his work would lead to a long-standing republic. These correspondence letters provide emotion, thought process, and genuine feeling. And we really use them to study American history of political thought in a different way. It gives us firsthand emotions of what really happened when they wrote the Constitution, when they wanted to include the Bill of Rights. Um, Without it, we just learn textbooks and sources. We don't really get the firsthand thought process and emotion that these correspondence letters give us.